All right, we're live. Cool. All right. And here we are. Welcome to the live stream. We are going to be tearing down this 383 Mopar engine for a rebuild. And this 383 engine, Mopar engine, happened to come out of a 1956 Ford pickup. Very unique. So, without further ado, let's get after it. John, sorry for late start with rear light turning now. Okay, so late 60s, 383 Mopar. Here we go. This thing has probably never, ever been into before. We're going to find out. We got the micrometers right over there on the bench. We're going to find out what kind of life this thing's had. I can tell you what kind of life it's going to have. No oil filter should ever be that tight. Let's get the harmonic balancer out. Sorry. We'll do the magic juice. LD40. No shop should ever be without it. Okay. So we got the balancer on here. I didn't want to break. I know this thing is probably going to be seized on here. So, look at the rust on that, would you? Wow. Let's use this bolt. Get some leverage on it. See, that thing's going to be seized on there. It's rusted. Man, this is not going to come off easy. I can tell you that. So we're going to put the bolt in there so we have some kind of leverage. Pull this harmonic balancer off of the crankshaft. Let me pull this a little closer so y'all can get better look. That's what we're doing here. Okay. So we're going to push against that bolt. This. And so far in their infinite wisdom, use 5/16 bolts on this, which is not enough. Clean bolts are going to be strong enough to pull this balancer out of here. better threads here. One of them look too good. So this is a harmonic balancer puller tool, a tool specially designed for pulling these balancers. And when you find them rusted on and seized on like this one is, this is the only way you'll ever get it off. One of those situations where the right tool makes the whole difference. Huge difference. Get a good grab. All right. Lights, camera, action. There we go. Don't want to come out. It's all right. All right. We always win. We always win. A little bit more leverage on her. Come on, baby. All right. There she comes. And that's how you take off a harmonic balancer that has not been removed in probably, let's see, almost 60 years. Wow. I guess I just gave away my age because I grew up working on these cars. I love these old cars. Back when muscle was muscle. All right. So our balancers off. Here. Take our bolts off. Put our bolts. There. WD-40. Miracles. Miracle worker. Now, I'm sure we're going to encounter every bolt we encounter on this thing. I'm sure it's going to be rusted. So we got to be gentle with it. Let's start up here. We don't have too many issues with this thing. Challenge right there. Mopar. Put the bolt right behind the waterline jacket, and these things always rust out. So that thing's not going to come out without breaking. But I got to take it out in order to get this bolt. It's all right. We're putting all new stuff on it anyway. So, no biggie. No biggie. So, I know it's rusted in there solid, so we're just going to cut it for now. Going to put all new stuff on this thing anyway. We don't really need it. we got to remove it in order to get that bolt out because the bolt is right behind it. All right. And right tool gets the job done every time. All right. Now, get bolts out without breaking any of them. Be a miracle. They're all going to cooperate. All right. Got cooperation all the way across the board. Probably going to give her a little love tap. You don't want to come off. She's been on here too long. Better give her a love tap. Talk to me, baby. Come to Papa. There we go. Water pump housing. Water pump's up here. This is a housing. So I got my pullers over here. It's all my pullers are over here. So put everything back. I'm done. That way next time we can we're on the bench. Take the distributor out. So you might be asking yourself, hey Norman, why are you taking all those plug wires off? How you don't know where to put them when you put it back together. Well, like I said earlier in the video, I grew up working on these cars. Firing order is 1-843-6572. So I think I can figure it out. There's a cap, rear wires, which this is all original points, distributor points, and ignition, ancient dinosaur technology, which will not see its way back under the hood of this truck. We will be upgrading the ignition system to a MSD electronic controlled spark ignition, so we'll be getting rid of these points, which are extremely unreliable. So if we're going back with the MSD ignition to complement the cam that we're going to be putting in it. So we got plenty of fire this beast around the town. Okay. It's gonna be and generals. The bolts have been there a long time. Okay. And we're not going to be using any of this stuff. So close your eyes. Close your eyes. Ah! You cut the wire. Problem. This distributor is not going to see daylight again. This distributor is now a mini boat anchor. Should not be using it again. Okay. Right now, let's get some of this stuff off the top. Some of this weight off of this thing before we spin it around. We will not be using that carburetor either. We're going to opt for fuel injection because when we want to put modern technology in this thing for reliability, horsepower, all those good things that come with fuel injection. Ignition coil will not be used. Another mini boat anchor will not be using that. It will not swing back. Okay. Putting all new stuff on this baby. That 15,000 carburetor springs on here. We'll just pop that off. And my little roll around toolbox here. I can go anywhere and do anything to any car with this box. It's a roll around, has everything I need in it. Metrics, standards, junk drawer, all my miscellaneous pliers and stuff. And of course, your power tools. Great box. Of course, over here I got all my, that's where I keep my magic juice, WD-40, all that stuff. All right, back to the engine. Didn't know you're not watching this video, so you can admire my toolbox. Okay, let's roll them. Peace. Bye bye, Mr. Carburetor. See you in your next life. Won't be using any of this. We'll be replacing all this fuel line with a high pressure fuel line because we'll be going through a high pressure fuel injection system. Okay. Relax. Another mini boat anchor. Don't you just love upgrades? Intake. 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 Ring. Take both. All right. Don't stay. And now you take, man, these things are, you could make, I bet you could make a Toyota just out of this intake. The metal that's in this intake. Thing's got some serious steel to it. 50-pound intake. All right, now we can take the pan off, take this off. All right, pan time. Let's get the pan off. Back in the magic toolbox. And let's get I get to blow the dust off all my standard size sockets and wrenches. We get so many new cars that come in through here, and everything's measured. It's kind of nice. Get these old cars in here, so I can blow the dust off all my standard tools. Very refreshing. Well, bring the camera over here and show you those intake runners. They do not look good. But we know this is an old, tired engine. Very tired. Take a glimpse inside of here. What do we got down here? Okay. So, first glance, let's see what we got. Bring her a little closer with the camera. Everybody can see. Okay. So, you can see all this oil and grime and the intake runners. That should not be there. Cam. Oh, look at that cam. There's a cam that's completely gone right there. Let's see. I can get my flashlight to cooperate. So, wow, that thing is completely gone. Come here, Mr. Camera. Well, I don't know if the camera's going to go that far. Let's find out. See if we can get a good look at that right there. Can you see where there used to be a camshaft and just a bunch of metal? That thing is, the cam is completely gone. The lifter's got the bottom eaten out of it, and that lifter's not going to want to come out. This engine has definitely seen its better days. But that's okay. We like them when they're broken, because when they're broke, that's your opportunity to make it better. All right, let's get the valve covers off this thing and continue on our mission. Our mission to tear down. Wow. Dude. Valve covers off. We're going to make a beast out of this engine. We're going to bring her back from the dead. And she's going to be the toughest kid on the block when we're done. Okay. And we got more crud in here. This is an old tired engine. Tired. Poor things never had any attention. Okay. Let's pull. Get that fuel pump out of the way. Okay. So if my narration wanders a little bit, gets a little goofy, it's because I've had a very long day running on Zero fuel. It's been a long day, but we got to get this engine tore down so we can get it into the machine shop tomorrow. We know it's going to need to be bored over, so we're going to bore it over, put some new pistons, some mean forged pistons there. Got to get it to the machine shop. Because machine shop always takes so long to do their magic. But so we're gonna get her tore down tonight. I got my micrometers over there on the bench, so we can mic everything out when we're done. I know I'm predicting that we're gonna have to do at least the 30 thousandths oversized bore, oversized pistons, just based on how it was running before. When I saw it, had a lot of blow by. We know the cylinder wall is going to be tapered, the rings are going to be shot. We already know that. Okay, let's wrap around header off. Oh, we're gonna definitely gonna have to break out the magic juice. Man, without that stuff, you would be breaking bolts left and right, stripping them and fighting yourself, spinning your wheels in the mud. It's there. Oh, bin. Got a nut bin over here where we keep all our. That's how we keep track of our nuts. Right over here. Nice color sorted bin. Really nice for keeping track of your nuts and bolts. I try not to work harder. I try to work smarter. You get old, you start running out of energy. You gotta keep really not a choice. You have to work smarter. Those young guys spin their wheels and burn their tires and burn their energy. Us old guys, we gotta work a little smarter so we get more done. So we keep up with those young guys. But I can tell you this. After a good night's rest, big old cup of coffee and Mountain Dew, ain't no youngster keeping up with this old guy. Ha 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 ha. All right. Let's see. We got to wrench this one because somebody decided to gift wrap these headers. All this wrapping, get it in there. That was pretty difficult. Okay. Wrench that one. Got three different size nuts on this thing. I can assure you when I put this back together, it will have one size nut. Every one of these stuff. But I don't have to use 30 wrenches to take them off. All right. Now we're dealing with some rust in here. Magic juice, working its magic. We've got two. One of the difficult bits. Oh, come on. Come on. I guess this would have been a good time for a commercial. There you go, YouTube. Here's your cue. Make your money. All right, come on, come on, come on. I'm winded. Oh, gosh. We got movement. We got movement. Man, look at the long johns on this thing. They wrap the heck out of this thing. Reminds me used to live up north where temperature got like 20 degrees below zero. We used to wear underwear that looked like this, called long johns. Let's leave that down here though. Way different. Come on. Fight me all the way, aren't you? Shit. So maybe I should have put a little bit more magic juice on that one. Come on. There it is. I always win. I always win. You can fight me. You can run, but you can't hide, Mr. Bolt. Oh, this one's gonna. Oh, wait. I'm not gonna get a little cooperation out of this one. Come on. Set. Lost feeling. Okay. CSO guys, we don't bend down, we use magnets. Use magnet. We don't bend down, get down on our knees, we just use magnets. Smarter, not harder. That would probably be the theme for tonight's episode of Batman. Okay. Now get our long john underwear headers off. Here on a parts pinch. Now we can go down on these other valve covers. And we'll get this out. It's so promising. Everything. Nothing wants to cooperate. That's what happens when you get both that have been together for 60 years. They don't want to come back smarter. Look at the rust on that. Can you see the rust on that bolt? And then on top of that, on these headers, we have all different size bolts. We got these little bolts and these big bolts. They had all different kinds of size on the same size stud. They could have used the same nut on every stud, but I guess somebody had an assortment of bolts they needed to use. Okay, let's get the other valve cover off. This will be valve cover removal part 2. I know you were very excited to see part 2 after seeing part 1. Which, you know, those lips, they're not going to want to come out because they are mushroomed on the bottom. They are completely wiped out. So, but we're not reusing any of that stuff. This thing's getting a hot cam. We're going to put a little bit of high performance camshafts, valve springs. We're going to build a thumper engine. Okay. And look at all, can you see the sludge? Look at all the sludge on this engine. Change your oil. Change your oil. I build a lot of engines. And I see what changing oil does to an engine and what not changing your oil does to an engine. And I have 3 vehicles. I change oil on them religiously. Every 3,000 miles, right on the dot, I change the oil. I use a very good oil, synthetic oil. And I have a 1-ton truck that has probably 4,000 pounds of tools in it that it's had in it forever. It's got 280,000 miles on it. Runs like the day it was new. But I take care of it. Take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. I tell that to all my customers. Take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. All right, let's get these rocker arms off of here. And we can start digging down towards some cylinder head action. I got a runaway socket. Time for the magic magnet. Come back here. You can run, but you can't hide, and you can't escape the magic magnet. Get you every time. Okay. Great. Probably get a bunch of comments. Man, who's that goofy dude? Dave. Ah, look at the grime. Look at the slime on those rocker arms. Yucky. Yucky. Uh, Terrible. It's almost as bad as changing my kid's diaper. Yucky. Not that bad. But crazy. Okay, these are like terrible. It's all right. It's good thing we're not using any of this crap. And these are completely clogged up. Wow. This engine is in dire need of attention. You can see all this grime and sludge in here. Okay, let's get the other side around. This is going to be one rocking truck, and we're done. Can't wait. Don't worry. We will post a thumper video, and that's what it'll be. 1956 Ford truck, Mopar 383 engine, thumper engine. Okay. More clogged up push rods here. Good, push a little bit closer to the camera. See what I'm doing here. Moving a bunch of dirty, clogged up diaper push rods. Okay. Over. Okay. Over. Guess I should be careful rambling and rambling. I never know what YouTube will sense. Okay. Now let's get this thing out of the way. Okay. Now let me two. Count. So if you get hit with some oil, you might want to put on your safety vest. Oh, look at that, a broken dipstick. Look at that. Somebody put a broken dipstick back in this engine. Imagine that. So okay, that gives us an excuse to go buy a chrome dipstick. Because you know you ain't cool if your chrome don't shine. Okay. All right. Black inch. Okay. How about we tear these heads off of here and get a look at the pistons? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some head action. Keep these cylinder heads off. So we can see if those pistons look as bad as that cam did, which we already know it does. We just have to confirm our theory. Synopsis of our theory. Okay. Head bolts. Head bolt line. Okay. And they got so much sludge on those head bolts, I can't even get my socket on it. Break out the Big Daddy for these. Because, you know, these head bolts been on there for 60 years, Martha. Okay, here we go. These are cooperating. Trying to ease them out. I don't want none of them breaking me. Far so good. Right. Oh. Wondering if you're wondering to yourself, man, why are so many head bolts on here? Well, these cylinder heads are under extreme pressure. There's a violent explosion that occurs underneath these cylinder heads. Bring in the gas and air through here, it goes in there, it explodes violently, then the burnt comes out of here into those long drop headers. There's so many head bolts on here, and if you notice, they're pretty heavy bolts. They're hard to steel, pretty big. They do it well. Okay, so out. So we're gonna have to give her a little persuader. We're gonna need a little bit of persuasion to get off of there. May actually need a lot of persuasion, so we'll get the big persuader. Come on, baby. Talk to me. Great. And I guess I shouldn't have done this with my back to you. Sorry. Here comes the cylinder head. Oh, by the way, they're heavy. And that's why we have drain pans underneath the car. And that's what the bottom of the cylinder head looks like. There's exhaust valve, intake, intake, exhaust, exhaust, intake, intake, exhaust. These are all your valves. And they look like they're pretty solid. And you can usually tell how an engine's running by looking at the combustion chambers. If you notice different colors, you got a bright color here, dark color, medium color, dark color. So basically, this is probably the only cylinder that was firing because it's got the brighter color. So it's just a wore out mode. All right, to the beach. We'll be doing some work to those cylinder heads also. Good. New valve, valve guide seals, springs, definitely springs. We're gonna put springs that match the cam because we're putting a performance cam in it. Okay, wanna hear myself. Yeah, but we definitely got some more out cylinders because you can't even see the dash tag. You know, I can see the ring between the pistons. So it should pretty more out. Let's get the other head off. Maybe this maybe get a better look at it this way. The roof mechanic was working with his back to the camera. I know. Let's try it this way. This is cylinder head removal part two. Oh. That's it. Show this. Oh. Oh. Put that out of the way. Tear down. Tearing an engine apart. Okay. But you're not gonna make no man's go all the way to the other side of the shop. Yeah. The special socket because I got three stubborn ones that don't want to cooperate because they're full of grudge, full of sludge. Nobody look, I gotta use the persuader. Sludge in there and the socket didn't want to go over this head of the bolt. Gotta persuade it. Get the persuader. Persuader will fix anything. See, the socket didn't want to go on the bolt because of the sludge. I had to persuade it. There. We have got one more stubborn one back here. Persuade it. All right. Right tool for their job. Persuader can fix anything. Oh. Oh. Got one hiding from us. Oh. I'd sneak away. Quicker to bend over than grab the mag. So we gotta go quickly. Okay. Looking forward to building this engine. All these parts will be like brand new when we put it back together. Okay, we're gonna need the other persuader, which is this one here. He's a batonist. Look at that. All right. Oh, come on, baby. There she goes. She didn't want to come at first, but she did. All right, so we hit the drain pan again. It's, it's antifreeze coming out of the jackets. The cylinder heads are full of antifreeze. Oh man, look at that. It's clogged, clogged, clogged. Once again, you got different colors, all the colors of the rainbow. That's not good. A lot of sludge on this engine. Oh, she definitely needed a rebuild. Okay. I know I didn't. This is a little bit of a dirty job. So before you decide to go make a career out of building engines, just know up front, you're gonna get dirty. Except when you put them together. When I build engines and transmissions for that matter, this whole area here is as clean as a hospital. Okay. Because dust is not your friend when you're building new engines and transmissions. All right, so I'm going to try to make this a quick live stream. So get this thing done over with. If I can make it a quick live stream, that means I don't have to edit. It should be phenomenal. Then it means I can do more work. Yay. All right, so I guess we're gonna leave these on for now. Take them off in the morning. Uh, let me go ahead and give her a little bit of a spin here. By the way, I've bought a lot of engine stands in my time. Been building engines a long time. Harbor Freight just came out with this one here. It just came out with it. And I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed with it. Uh, for years and years, they've been making engine stands for which their purpose of engine stand is to hold the engine and allow you to rotate it so you can work on it. And engines are pretty heavy, so it's got to be pretty stout. But this is the first engine stand I've seen in my days where they actually put huge bearings in here, roller bearings, mind you, to make the operation of rotating this engine smooth. And it's extremely smooth. I'm really impressed with it. Way to go, Harbor Freight. You know, sometimes you get jump from there, but every once in a while, man, they really got something really impressive. This is one of those times. So it turns extremely smooth. I'm really impressed with it. And no, Harbor Freight does not pay me to say that. It's my honest opinion. Coming from an old mechanic, an old geezer like me. All right, let's get this pump off. It's gonna need Mr. Which these are pretty awesome tools too. The DeWalt. I swear by these things, man. The one thing I love about these DeWalts is just about every tool I have is a DeWalt, and the same battery fits every one of the tools. Even my radio over there on that other toolbox, it's a DeWalt, and it takes the same battery as this. Crazy convenient. Raider, Raider, and there's your oil pump. This is actually the heart of your engine. This is the heart. Because with this is what keeps oil. This is what pumps oil through your entire engine, keeps everything lubricated. And without oil, your engine is going to die fast. And when we're going to build a performance engine, so we will be putting a high volume, high pressure pump back in the new engine that we build because it pumps more oil at a higher pressure, which keeps everything extremely well lubricated and protects against any type of engine failure or wear. And, you know, I try to do every job as if it was my own. And plus, we get a 3-year warranty on everything we do. So we got to do it right. But, the motivation for me is seeing the end result. When I see this engine, after I build this engine and I know how much pride I took in building it, and I hear it run and I see that smile on the customer's face, that's my motivation for doing this. And I'm what 63 years old, and I've been doing this my whole life, and I still love what I do. I love working on these things. Even I don't even care about getting dirt. Of course, I never cared about getting dirt. All right, so let's go ahead and get a little oil pan action off of here. Get the oil pan off so we can get down under. And get the timing cover off so we can see how bad the timing chain is. We know the timing chain is going to be wore out on this beast. All right, let's go. Wrong socket and the wrong spot. No wonder. Do it to you every time. All right. So remember the oil, you pan. They call it the oil pan because it's at the bottom of the engine and it's a pan. And gravity causes all the oil that gets been pumped and stuff the engine. The gravity pulls it back into the pan in this area right here. And this is where your oil sits, and that pump pulls oil from this pan here and pumps it up through the engine. Then gravity brings it back down, and so on and so on. And then you do that for about 50 or 60 years, and you get tired. You got to come see Norman so we can rebuild you and give you a new heart, new pistons. All right. So, like I said earlier, I'm too old to be bending over. So we're going to go over to this awesome little bearing operated monstrosity here. And we're going to put it at a more convenient location for me to get it over. Cut. Okay. Now I can get all these bolts without bending over. Right tool for the job. Do you notice how smooth that engine turns? I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with this engine. Turns so smoothly. It's kind of important when you're trying to put an engine at the site, you're trying to clock it in the exact position so you can work on an exact part of it. It's really nice that you don't have to fight it. Because these things are pretty heavy to begin with. Okay, we got another part that's gonna need persuasion. But this one's gonna need persuasion of a little bit different kind. We're gonna have to try to wedge between the pan and the block, and it's gonna be seized. That break the seal loose on it, and she should come off. Now we got our oil pan. Oh my God! Look at that! Oh, oh my God! Look at that! Oh, so oh my God! Look at that! Would you want somebody to feed you that? Ah, poor engine. Terror. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull the timing cover off of it. And then we'll pop the pistons out of it. Right, that's really mop here, man. This engine was definitely wore out. So again, Mopar decided to use two different set of bolts, same pan. For some odd reason, I guess they had a contract with the bolt company. Trying to sell more bolts. Okay. And now this is gonna need a little persuasion, just like the whole fan. To get it off. I gotta put a little wedge in between here. Once you break the seal, it'll come off. And it's just like a wood chisel, just something to wedge in there. Once you break that seal, it'll come right off. Look at that. Somebody put a timing chain on this engine before. This is not a factory timing chain. So I guess the timing chain went bad on it and somebody changed it, replaced the timing chain, but didn't do anything else to the motor. Oil slinger. So let's get the timing chain off of it. Oops. Swader again. It's gonna be a little double for Swader. Rock it back and forth until it comes loose. Like that. And then voila, timing chain. Okay. Remote back. So it's back. Because I already know the listeners are not going to want to come out. We can try, see if we can persuade a few of them to come out. All right, so now we got to get the lifters out of these bores. Then we can try to pull the camshaft out. All right, so we're making progress here. See if we can get some lifters out of here. So the lifters are going to be in here and they're going to be stuck and they're going to be stubborn because the bottom of them is mushroomed because they're wore out. And that cam is pitted really bad. The swings get under them, pop them out. Gonna take some persuasion. You get under here. See, the bottom is completely mushroomed on them. And these are going to all trash. So that looks like let's get a spot. Sure. Two. Under. Three. 4. Oh, big old chunk of crap there. There it is. It's stuck. Okay. One side. Wow, that one is pretty stiff too. That's neat sweater for those. Yep. Wow, that one's really tight. That was really mushroom. If I had the camera on this, you guys can see it. I think you can see it. Okay, let me try it. See a little bit better. A better hee haw on the doodah. Oh, a little downward action. Maybe now you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we got four here that are just wedged in the block because their mushrooms so bad on the bottom. By the way, they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to come out nice and smooth because you're supposed to go up and down nice and smooth. But when the bottoms of them wear out, this is what happens. They get mushroom. They don't operate the valves like they're supposed to. Man, every one of these are stuck. Okay. So have no fear. We have a tool for everything. We have all kinds. Oh, there's one that came out. We have air powered persuaders in this house. We can persuade anything. Come on, baby. There's another one cooperating. Okay. So we got six of them there that don't want to cooperate. So we will go get Mr. Intimidator. Okay. So let me run. You see me or not? Let me run to the other side of the shop, grab Mr. Intimidator. I'll be right back. I just gotta go to the other side of the shop, to the other toolbox. I gotta get Mr. Intimidator and we'll knock these suckers right out. Commercial break, YouTube. Okay, so I'm back. Hope you enjoyed your YouTube commercial. And I might be a little narcissistic because I'm watching myself on YouTube live. Ha! Okay. All right. So you say you don't want to come out. Well, I can't remember the name of the movie, and I'm probably not good with Al Pacino impersonations, but I want you to say hello to my little friend. You don't want to come out. Oh, got the movie. Okay. Watch and learn. Say hello to my little friend. You don't want to come out. Meet the intimidator. You lose. Le who, the her. Hello? Ah, le who, the her. Okay. You don't want to come out, huh? Ah, le who, the her. Come on, baby. Oh, stubborn. I always win. I always win. Your resistance is futile. The who? Yeah. Right out like nothing. Right tool for the job. I think that should be the theme of this video. Okay. Got one hiding back here. I don't think you can see it, but it's over here in the corner. Stubborn. That. The prize. The who? The her. The intimidator. Everybody should have one in their home. Nobody says no to the intimidator. Wow, that could have been a good infomercial. Okay, all the lifters are out. I think now we can pull this camshaft out if it's not seized to the cam bearings. Let's find out. Let me grab a bolt out of my selection of my massive puller bolt selection. Come on, baby. Okay. There's a lot of gum on this thing. Come on. So that would be our oil pump drive gear, driven by the camshaft. Okay. Now our camshaft should slide right out. All right. There's our camshaft, all the pitted lobes. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but these lobes, I don't know if you can see all this pitting in the cam. Can you see the pitting in the cam? This is kind of a unique cam. Chrysler decided to make a camshaft that only oils on rotation. Okay, but this camshaft is garbage. Putting a camshaft, that's the brain of your engine, by the way. That's what determines when your valves open and close, how long they open and close, and how much that ultimately determines how much air fuel goes into your combustion chamber, which determines the size of the explosion. So with different camshafts, you can get different performances and make an engine do a lot of neat stuff. Okay, we're making some progress here. So we'll knock a couple of pistons out of here and we'll put the micrometer on it so we'll know exactly what we need to tell the machine shop tomorrow when we drop it off. So that means we get to go back upside down. So we'll go this way. See, I'll take a piston out that you guys can see. So I'll go I'll knock out. Should be able to see that side. Pretty good. So we'll knock one of those pistons out over there. So we will go with this one right here. We'll go with that would be cylinder number 2. We're going to check out cylinder number 2. Guess we should have. Let me start with cylinder number 2. So we can get a general reading. These are going to be your which connecting rod does a pretty impressive job. Transfers the explosion from the piston down to the crankshaft, which causes the crankshaft to turn, which ultimately causes your wheels to move your car. And this will take a little bit of a persuader here. Get these out, put the nuts back on here so we don't damage threads when we tap them out. And also we can take a look at some of these bearings. So we'll give her a little love tap, a little tappity tap, tap, tap. There. Take much. Just a little bit of a tappity tap, tap, tap. Okay. And then here's our rod cap. Check it out. Flat side always goes inside, chamfered side always goes out. And boy, look at the big old pits in these bearings. Wow. See if I can clean this up so I can show you, give you a better look in the camera. Rag. We can put some brake cleaning and clean all that stuff on here. Well, we can get a really good look at this one. Okay. Bearings. This connecting rod, it spins, it causes this thing to spin, and there's oil that lubricates it. And so this thing is transferring all the inertia from the piston to the crankshaft. So it's a pretty important part. And let me get one of my precision pinpointer thing like they used back in college. Let me lower this camera. Why are you so high? Come back down to earth with the rest of us. Okay, so if you look, I don't know if you can see this. Let me turn the light on the camera. That might help. How about now? Too much light. Okay, so if you see the pointer right here, that's a big old chunk out of the bearing that's not even there anymore. And there's a bunch of little chunks missing all through here. The bearing is just completely wore out. So it's going to need new bearings, which we're doing anyway. It's actually going to get a new crankshaft. So, all right. So that tells us that story. Now let's actually see the story of piston. So we're going to have to give that one a little tappy tap tap. Let's get side here. And there's probably so much wear that some papers come up. But you always win, so it's going to have to. Okay, come on. And here You can see that we got a lot of scarring. I don't know if that light's making it better or worse. Try turning it off. Better or worse? Better or worse? Anyway, I don't know if you can see all the scarring on the piston. Skirt's completely wore, completely gone. Oil ring's kind of stuck. So let's take a micrometer reading of the block. So this engine has a 4.25-inch bore. So we don't want to go beyond, let's see, 4.25. So all right. Oh, turn it around. I did wrong. Okay. Let's see if we can listen. So we're going to measure. Let me just turn this around. All right, there. Now you can see. Okay. Okay. So basically, what we want to see. So the cylinders have a lot of scarring and pitting. So we need to mic it and make sure that they can get a good bore. Come here, Mr. Micrometer. Okay. 'I already set this micrometer for 4.25. And so I'm dead center here. That looks like dead center. Let's go down in the board. I'll try to turn this so you can see it. Okay, so it looks like you got 0. Check the taper in the middle. What was that about? I'm gonna rock it back and forth and find. You definitely got about almost 5 thousandths tapered each. So we're gonna have to go with a 30 thousandths oversized piston. So now we know what to tell the machine shop. I didn't show that to you, did I? Don't know if you can. So let's see. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm gonna turn it this way. Doesn't read very well sideways. I don't know if you can see that. It's about 5 thousandths right there. Anyway. Okay. So now we know what we got to tell the machine shop. I'll finish popping these pistons out in the morning and take the block over to the machine shop first thing in the morning so they can get started on it and they can work their magic. As soon as they get done with it, we can get it back and we'll make another video. The next video will be building a Monster 383. So I hope you enjoyed spending the late evening with me at the shop, getting all grimy and greasy and tearing down this poor old 383. She's had a long, tired life, but we're going to give her new life. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. The teardown, we got it tore down. We mic'd it. We know what we need to know. In the morning, we're going to pop out the pistons and take it to the machine shop. Thank you. Sayonara.